Okay, so hi everyone and welcome to class. Welcome to learning English, which is such a great thing to do. And because you guys are here in Australia, you guys are quite lucky because you get to experience meeting people that are English speakers every single day. But for the rest of us, we will use this class where we can practice our grammar, make sure we're making all the corrections. And as you know from last lesson, we have been looking at using the future tense. So we're talking about the future. That's anything that we want to give people information about what is happening maybe tomorrow, what is happening next week, what is happening next year, any information about our life or someone else's life, but not about now, but sometime in the future. So that's the grammar that we were looking at. And we're just going to continue. We were using the topic about the earth to try and practice talking about the future. We also looked at measurements. So don't forget, now we know how to talk about the temperature. We know how to talk about the distance and how much something weighs. So we know the measurements for those information that we want to give. But okay, let's get back into our textbook. We are looking at the unexplored earth. So that means part of the world that not many people have seen yet. Maybe not many people have gone there. It's a part of the world that's very, untouched, not yet been destroyed by humans and, with buildings and pollution and people. So we're going to listen to a radio program about 5 places. So remember, these are not just any places. These are unexplored places. And first of all, before we continue the class, we have so many people online. Anna, Dickerson, Eduardo, Franco, Yaneth too, and Valeria. Everybody is online today. So hi guys online. I hope you're all listening and following with our class. So hi Anna. Okay, so let's get into our textbook. Hey Dickerson. Hope you're all well. Hope you're enjoying the little bit of coolness that we have today, right? It wasn't very hot like yesterday. Yeah, it's a bit more cool today. I still like the very hot, as some people know, but it's nice. Today's a little bit cooler. So hi to everyone. And yes, let's get back into learning English together. So I'm just going to go into my textbook, which I have it here. So remember, the unexplored earth, it just means a part of the world that not many people have seen, not many people go there, travel there. So the unexplored earth. Okay, so we're going to listen to a program, like I said, about 5 places, and you're going to fill in the information. So I could see that these are the 5 places: the black hole of Andros, Lake Vostok, Mount Dipernalison, the Marium Mountains, and the Foja Mountains. Now, these places don't sound familiar, do they? I haven't really heard of any of them. So that's why they're unexplored. It means that they're not very common known places. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's really difficult to travel there. Maybe that it's just impossible, or we don't know. We will find out because we've got 3 students, A, B, and C. And we can see that there's sentences. They're talking information about these places. So let's listen about information about these 5 places. Okay, we'll fill it in and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Track 112.
Unit 12B.
We often think that humans have been everywhere on the earth. We've crossed deserts, and we've been to the bottom of oceans. And as for mountains, about 500 people climb to the top of Mount Everest every year. So, is there anything left? Well, if you're an explorer who's looking for new places to explore, here are my top 5 unexplored places. Good luck! First of all, there are 2 lakes. The Black Hole of Andros is in the Bahamas in the Atlantic Ocean. The water temperature is 36 degrees Celsius, and it is very dark, so it's difficult to see what's in there. And my second lake is Lake Vostok in Antarctica. Lake Vostok is 14,000 square kilometers and freezing cold. Unfortunately, it's been under a sheet of ice for 15 million years. The ice is 3.7 kilometers deep, so it's impossible to get to, though scientists have taken water from it. If you're a climber, there are lots of mountains in the world that nobody has climbed yet. For example, there's Mount Dimpernalison in the east of the Himalayan mountains. It's 6,135 meters high. Or you could explore the Merimee Mountains in Guyana in South America. But they are at the end of the 500-kilometer-long Matsuruni River. So that's one for someone who also likes boats and maybe swimming. It's one of the most dangerous rivers in the world. Then there are also the Foja Mountains in a forest of Papua New Guinea. The forest is 8,100 square kilometers, and the bad news is there are no maps of the region, so you'll have to make one while you're there.
Okay, so the 5 places that you heard in the audio, this is what they look like. I forgot that I already had some images of them. So the Black Hole of Andros is this one. Lake Vostok, that's an image. Mount Dimpernalison is this one. And the Merimee Mountains. And the last one, the Foja Mountains. Okay, we were looking at some information which we got from the audio. We heard some information. So in the first one, it says in the Bahamas, where is the first place? The Black Hole of Andros is in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's where we can find this place. It's in the Atlantic Ocean. So we have to capitalize the A because remember, names of oceans and rivers, you need to put a capital letter. So Atlantic Ocean, but not for ocean. I'm just going to go to number 7 because I want to talk about the same place. The water here is how many degrees?
30.
Yeah, 36 degrees Celsius.
Very good.
Yes, that would be good for me. I would love to go swimming there. Yeah, well, you know. 36 degrees Celsius, so extremely hot water. I don't think the body can survive that hot. Because I know in the swimming centers, the pool's about maybe 28, 30 degrees, but 36, that's the same temperature inside your body. So maybe that's not good to swim in a place like that. Okay, I'm just going to go to number 12. The hole, so we're still talking about the same place, is very dark.
Dark.
So that's an adjective. The place is very dark, so it's difficult to see. What's in there?
Sí.
Yep. Okay, so that's about the black hole of Andros, which is in the Atlantic Ocean, and we know some details about it. The temperature, what it's like, why it's difficult to go there. Okay, the next one. Lake Vostok is in Antarctica. That's
Antarctica.
at the bottom of the world. Antarctica. And it's how many square kilometers? What is its distance? From one side to the other side, what's its distance?
14,000
Yeah?
kilometers.
No.
Square kilometers.
Yes, exactly. So 14,000 square kilometers. Now that's the measure, that's how the symbol km2, but we say it square kilometers. Square usually is always like the 2. You know how you got square meters? So square meters is just the M2, but when there's a kilometer, square kilometer. So 14,000. So remember, any numbers above 1,000, you have to put a comma. I know in Spanish you put a full stop, or in Italian, but in English, any numbers, when you go past 999, you have to put a comma. So that's why we say 14,000 square kilometers. Okay, I'm just going to go to number 14. The ice is
3.7 kilometers.
3.7 kilometers deep. So you can't go there. The ice, like all the way down, it's 3.7 kilometers. Can you imagine? I can't imagine how long that is. So you can't go there. Okay, interesting. So this place was Lake Vostok in Antarctica. Okay, the next one, we had Mount Dipernalison is in the east of the Himalayan mountains. So it's in the east side, not the north, west, south, but the east part of the Himalayan mountains. And it's how many meters high?
1,102.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So 6,135 meters high. So M meters. And nobody has ever climbed it. So again, these are unexplored places. They're not very common, and there's a reason why not many people know about them. Maybe it's impossible to get there. It's dangerous. Yeah, no one's ever climbed this one. Okay, the Maroon Mountains. So this is an image here. Is in Guyana in South America. So did you know about this place? No? Interesting. And you're from South America. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the Maroon Mountains. And at the end of the
500 kilometers long.
yeah, so it's at the end of the 500-kilometer long Mazaruni River. So 500 kilometers. And it's one of the most dangerous rivers in the world. And the last one, the Foja Mountains. This is an image here. It's in a forest in Papua on the island of New Guinea. The forest is
80,000.
8,000 100 square kilometers. Yep, so you got to say the 2 first. And the 2 is said as square, and then you say km, which is kilometers, so square kilometers. So remember, the 2 is pronounced square. So square, just like the shape, you know, the square. So square is how you pronounce that part. You say that first, square, and then you say kilometers. Square kilometers. And there are no maps of this region, of this area. Okay, interesting. So which unexplored places of these 5 are water? The ones that were water, we know because Lake Vostok, you've got the word lake there. So that's a water place. The black hole of Andros, I'll just go to the image, is a water place as well, the first one. So they're the 2 that are water. Which ones are land? Mount Dipernallison, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And the Marium Mountains and the Foja Mountains. So they're all on land, not on water, on land. And for number 6, so again, which are areas of water? So anytime you see sea, lake, ocean, river, these words means that there's an area of water. Anytime you see desert, forest, or mountain, then these places are area of land. So water, land. And you remember last lesson, it said that the earth is 70% water or 75%. Maybe we heard it in the audio. I think 70 or 75%. 70% of the earth's surface is water. So that's what the world is made up of. Water, earth. Water, land, sorry. Now, it tells us to think of places in our own countries. So I'll just show you one from my country, from Australia. We've got the Daintree rainforest. I don't know if anyone's heard of it or if anyone's been there. I haven't been there. I was meant to go, but I ran out of time. And I wish I did go. I want to go back. So I was very close. I was near the area. It's in Queensland, in Australia. So if anyone's been to Queensland, it's one of the largest and one of the oldest continuing rainforests in the world. It's estimated at they think it's around 135 million years. It covers, so that means again, like, what is its size? 1,200 square kilometers. So that's how much it sizes. And there are many animals. So a variety of, not animals, but different types of land, from gorges, rivers, waterfalls, mountains. The highest mountain that's in this area is 1,374 meters. So it's not the highest in the world, but that's just one of the highest mountains there. And there's many types of Australian bats, butterfly species, frogs, reptiles. So 65% of our species are there, of these types. In winter, the temperature goes around 26 degrees. So that's still pretty warm. But at nighttime, it drops significantly. That means the temperature goes really down. In summer, the average temperature is about 32 degrees. So it sounds like it's pretty much always warm, except for the nighttime in winter when it drops quite a lot. Okay, so that's another place. That's in South Australia. It's a rainforest. Okay, so I'll give you an opportunity to tell me about your place, but for now, let's just continue and we'll do it in a moment. We're looking at the articles. So if you know, the article would be the word the. So we use the word the in front of some nouns, but then there are rules where we don't use it as well. So how do we know when do we need to put that word, which is called the definite article the? So usually when you have a river, you'll need to say the. So you know, because the Amazon River, the Nile River. If you have an island, then you need to say the. If you have oceans and seas, then you need to say the. So as you know, the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean. If you have mountains, but there's an S in the word of that mountain, then you need to put the.
Singular, don't.
No, exactly, yes. If it's singular, then no. So like an example is Mount Everest. There's no S because it just says Mount Everest. So there's no the Mount Everest. But the plural one would be the Miriam Mountains. So remember this one that we looked at in one of our, this one, the Miriam Mountains. So I said the, and you can see it has the word mountains. So I need to say the Miriam Mountains. But if I just said Mount Everest, I don't need to say the. If I have countries that have the words states, kingdom, or republic, then I need to say the. So the first one is the United States of America, the United States of America. Kingdom, the United Kingdom, the UK. Republic, the Dominican Republic in Central America. If you have east or west in the place, then you need to say the. So for example, if, for example, I live in the east part of South Australia. So anytime I say this part, like these words, I need to say the east part of South Australia or of Adelaide. If you have deserts, you need to say the. So we know we've got the Gobi Desert, the Sahara Desert. When you say moon, you usually need to say the. So, wow, can you see the moon? It looks beautiful. What a bright moon. If you have countries and it's plural, then you need to say the. Like the Maldives, which I know I mispronounce it, the Maldives. If you say north, east, south, or west part of a place, then you need to have the. If you have tower, you need to say the. So the Eiffel Tower in France. If you have union, you need to say the. When do you not say the? When you talk about cities and towns. So I live in Adelaide. Have you been to Paris? So you can see I don't need to say, have you been to the Paris? No. Or I live in San Rio. You don't say I live in the San Rio. When you talk about a country, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Australia, you don't need to say the. When you talk about the states in a country, so we know South Australia, Western Australia, Queensland, you don't say the. If you talk about roads and streets, you don't say the, unless sometimes there is the, but usually no. So McGill Road, North Terrace, you don't say the. If it's a single mountain, so we said that before, Mount Everest. If you have lakes, you don't say the. Continents, so remember there, I think there's 6 or 7 continents of the world: Australia, Africa, North America, South America, Asia. So you don't say the. And beaches, you don't say the. So for example, Glenelg Beach, Henley Beach, Grange Beach, Brighton Beach, you don't say the. So they're the rules. You just have to learn them. You just have to learn them. But let's look at some practice from our textbook. So back to our textbook. You can see we're on the next page. I've just gone through the rules with the article using the word the. So the Bahamas, we need to put the. What about Mount Kilimanjaro? We know it's a singular mountain because it's just got Mount, like Mount Everest. So no, doesn't have the. So anytime you make a sentence or you talk about it, you don't need to say the Mount Kilimanjaro. You just say, oh, I want to go to Mount Kilimanjaro one day. Pacific Ocean, do you have to put the? Yeah, the Pacific Ocean. Anytime you have oceans, the Mediterranean Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, you have to say the. So yes, you need to have the. So I think we're also putting number 1, the Bahamas is a group of islands. Number 2, Mount Kilimanjaro is a name of a mountain, so singular. Number 3, Pacific Ocean is yes, H. So 3H. I'll put that one first. Number 4, Africa. Yeah, Africa is a name of a continent. Continent. So 4C. And also we don't say the Africa because it's a continent, no article, no the. So it's just Africa. Africa, Australia, the Americas. Number 5, River Nile. Do we need to say the River Nile? We don't say, well, we do say the River Nile, yes. And the River Nile, because we know for rivers, we must say the. Number 5 is a name of a river. Number 6, Marium Mountains. It's plural. It's got the word mountains. So we need to say the Marium Mountains. And number 6 is a group of mountains, 6A. Peru. Peru is a country. Do we need to say the Peru or just Peru? We just say Peru. And it is number B. It's a name of a country, 7B. And Lake Tikita, it's a lake. Do we need to say the Lake Tikita? We know the rule, no. And it is G. It's a name of a lake. Okay, so that's the answers with if you need to put the in front of it or not. So the only ones that had the were the Pacific Ocean. We also had the River Nile. And then we had the Marium Mountains. They're the only ones that we needed the. Okay. Okay, we've got an article that we're going to read together, which is here. There's a map. It's a very ancient map. So it's an old map. And we've got a reading, and we're going to do it together. So I could see just here, there's a map. An old map, and there's a big paragraph. And it's missing some words. So we need to put the, or maybe no. But let's do it together. I'll give you 2 minutes to do it. Try and do it by yourself. So maybe you need to put the or not, and then we'll come back and we'll read it together. Okay, so 2 minutes to do it, read it, and see if you need to put the or not, and then we'll come back together. Okay, so we're reading the article. I gave you a moment to read it by yourself, and let's see if you were able to remember when to use the or not. So this map of the earth is from the 12th century. At the time, the king of Sicily, there's no the because it's a country, the king of Sicily. So make sure you put a dash like this to show that you don't need the word the. It's a country. It's like saying the king of England, the king of Spain, the king of France. So the king of Sicily wanted a map of the countries around the Mediterranean Sea. We know that for seas, any name of a sea, we need to put the, and we need to capitalize the name of all of it, Mediterranean Sea. So the Mediterranean Sea. He paid a man called Al-Idrisi to make a map. Al-Idrisi was from Morocco. So no the, because it's the name of a country. So it was from Morocco, but he lived in Spain. No the. It's a name, it's a country. So remember, countries, you do not put the. Brazil, Spain, Australia, we don't say the Brazil. Al-Idrisi interviewed thousands of travelers for information about the sea and the continents, including Arabia, now the Middle East. So anytime you have a part of the world or a part of a place where it has the word east, south, west, or north, you need to say the. So we know it's a region. It's not a country. The Middle East is like an area of land where you have many countries. So the Middle East, it's got the word east in it. So you need to say the Middle East. It's like saying the North Pole, the South Pole, the Middle East. And Asia is a continent. Do we need to say the? No. So, and Asia. The map is difficult to understand because old maps used to put south at the top and north at the bottom. So this map shows North Africa. Again, North Africa is a country, so we don't say the. Yeah, well, sorry, it's not a country, but it's got the word north in it. Sorry. Well, yeah, North Africa at the top and Europe at the bottom. So we don't need to say the because Europe is just like a region. Okay, so that's, hopefully you got that correct. You know when to use the definite article the and when not to use it. Okay, so you have the rules there. The only way is just to memorize. So again, that was just some notes here. When to use the with river, islands, ocean and seas, mountains, if it's plural. That's all the rules. And when you don't use it. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We're going to get into groups and I'm going to give you either an ocean or maybe a mountain or maybe a continent. And as a group, you're going to write about it and post it on Facebook so I can fix your English, but you're going to come up and talk to us about it. Okay, so let's get into groups. And as I said, I will give you a place. It could be an ocean, a river, a mountain, a continent, could be anything. And then together you're going to write something and you're going to present it to the class. Now, remember with presentations, make the English simple. I know that, yes, you can use Google to get your information, but really you have to simplify the English because then it's just not fun to watch something and people are not understanding you. So make it fun, make it enjoyable because you're teaching us. But at the same time, you're really trying to give us information, but make it fun for us. So keep the English very simple. And I know it's hard sometimes because you do read a lot of stuff online that's like advanced English. But even for myself as a native speaker, whenever I do a presentation, I keep my English simple. So yes, it is correct grammar, but at least it's, you know, it's simple English and it's casual, simple. So that's what you're going to do. Okay, so let's get into groups and come back and we'll present. Okay, so as you know, we were all doing a writing that we uploaded onto Facebook, but we're going to present it. So we went into groups and we thought about a place. Maybe it was an ocean, a continent, a sea, a desert, a river, or mountain. I gave you which one I wanted to. And now you're going to present it to the class. So who would like to go first? Which team would like to go first? Maybe online? Would you like, anyone would like to go first? I'll pick. No? Franco, are you ready to present?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So Franco is going to tell us about the Euphrates River. So, okay, Franco, tell us.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the Euphrates River. The Euphrates is the longest river of Western Asia and was one of the most important of the oldest part of the world, the Mesopotamia region. It is 2,780 kilometers of length, and together with the Tigris rivers defines the present-day Iraq. Originating in Turkey, it flows through Asia and Iraq.
Through Syria?
Syria and Iraq, and joins the Tigris, where it empties into the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates is one of the most historically important rivers of the world because it was believed that the first humans were at the place of this river.
Yes, perfect. Okay, thank you. So yes, a very important river, which is in the Bible. You'll read about it in the very first part of the Bible. So if anyone's read the Bible, you know that this is an important part because it's where they believe that the first humans were. So this river has a lot of biblical significance. But yes, thank you for sharing, Franco.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who would like to go next? Yes? Okay, yep. So we have a team group here. Who did the upload? Angeli, yes. I think I just remember seeing this one. Yes, the Dead Sea. I have been there, so I know. It is an amazing, amazing place. Okay, the Dead Sea. We have George, Brian, and Angeli. Okay, so let's listen about this place called the Dead Sea. And here we are.
Hello, everyone. Going talk about the big sea. This amazing place is located in Israel. Interesting from its little has the word sea. It is actually a south lake extending 605 square kilometers.
It is very, very exciting. So much so that people can go easily. Besides that, the water is beneficial for the skin and hair. However, the recommendation is not to stay in the lake for more than 10 minutes or more than twice a day because the salty water contains can damage the skin and irritate the egg. So it's others. For example, is yes. Presently, places for touristic sites. Nearby are cliffs, mud baths, spa, and bike ride.
It's all true. It's amazing. If you ever get to go there, you float. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I tasted it and I'm telling you, very, very salty. It was, and I got it in my eye. Oh my God, it burns. Just a little bit came in my eye and it amazing. The feeling was burning. So it's an amazing place. Okay, Franco, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. I don't know what happened to my screen, but okay, so yes, thank you for sharing that. The Dead Sea in Israel, amazing place, and I like the image where someone is floating. Okay, who would like to go next? Yep, Sebastian and Bo, and who uploaded?
Valeria.
And Valeria. Okay, yes. So this would be this one here. Sorry, my screen. I don't know why. My screen is gone. But okay, so Valeria, are you ready as well to read? Good. Yes, my screen is working. Okay, so Valeria, Sebastian, and Fo are going to be talking about the River Nile or the Nile River. Okay, so let's hear their presentation.
So guys, the Nile River in Africa is an international river with the length called
Approximately.
this 150 kilometers and is the second longest in the world.
Longest?
Longest the Amazon River. The river gives water to 11 countries. It does not flow into the ocean or sea put into two other rivers.
Yeah.
Then the beginning and the blooming.
So usually that should have been connected to Sebastian. So try not to break up that information. So because of that said that this river was not or the sea because of the other rivers. We have to continue to talk about the name is the White Nile and the Blue Nile. And then we're continuing with the next information. So don't break the information because we're talking about that information, the information, and then something with more information.
the country, in Italian, Canada, Rwanda.
Season.
See a song, Nelly, the E, of oh,
I think you have to read the one that I sent. Make sure you're always looking at the comment that I sent. So I think, yeah. So every season, when the final walk of the show,
oops,
yeah. Provides fertile soil,
and I
irrigation,
of
Egypt,
in 1000,
1970. Yes, because I doing something to stop too much water was coming these problems. It's a big
problem.
Yes, it's a big problem. Thank you for sharing that. Who would like to go next? I think we have online now. Let's see, Dickerson.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so we're back at the Euphrates. So tell us about the Euphrates River. So make sure you read the one that I fixed, which is there. Okay, so tell us about the Euphrates.
No, one moment, teacher.
Yes.
Hmm,
So you've got it on my screen if you need. So hello,
Okay.
guys.
Hello guys. Today we're going to tell you a little about the Euphrates River.
Euphrates River.
Euphrates River. This river is location in Asia.
Located in Asia.
Located in Asia. To be exact, in West Asia.
Yep, it's in West Asia.
West Asia, and in the large river there.
Yeah.
It begins in Turkey and flows through the
And flows
and flows down
through
through the Anatolian mountains.
Yeah.
On the way to Syria and then to Iraq. Its length is 300 kilometers, with a basin of 500,000 ahí sería
500,000 square kilometers.
500,000 kilometers. It has suffered due to climate change,
Climate
which
change.
means climate change, which means notice
Now,
flood water is nice flow water is a lower, so we must take care to not destroy the last of this river.
Yes. And the last sentence, the Euphrates River also
Sorry, teacher.
If you look above, you have one more sentence. So I'll just connect it.
Mm.
Okay, so that's easier now.
The river also as relationship, yeah,
Yeah.
with the ancient city Babylon, now modern day Iraq. The river dried up
Dried,
and the dust,
dried up.
sorry,
The river
dried up.
dried up.
The river dried up, and that's why it was considered a symbol of oppression.
Yes, good. So again, an important fact about this river is that it has a history going back to the Bible, to the start of when the Bible was written. So yes, that was important to mention that. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you,
Yaneth,
teacher.
thank you. Yaneth, one or Eduardo, would you like to go next? So Yaneth or Eduardo, you ready? No? Okay, well, I'll read Yaneth. So Yaneth talks about Algeria. So that's a country. So she's put a photo here. And she says, hi, everyone. Here is a little bit of Algeria. Algeria is the largest country in Africa and is located in the northern part of the continent. It is known for its diverse landscape, including the Sahara Desert, mountains, and Mediterranean coastline. The capital city is Algiers, I don't know how to pronounce that, which is a vibrant cultural and economic hub. Algeria gained independence from France in 1962 after a long and bloody struggle. The country's economy is largely dependent on oil and gas exports, but efforts are being made to diversify and modernize other areas of the city. Okay, good. So thank you, Yaneth, for telling us about Algeria, which is a country in Africa. And Edward, I will read it for you. So Edward says, hi, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about the Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest and shallowest ocean in the world, known for its seasonally varying sea ice extent. It is located in the Northern Hemisphere, surrounded by countries such as Canada, Greenland, Norway, and Russia. The Southern Ocean has a variety of marine life. You can especially see seals and polar bears there. Good. And I love the image. Very good. Okay, anyone else? I think that's everyone. Okay, so it looks like it is everyone. Now, what are we going to do next is we're going to, because a lot of people have left class, but we must continue. Okay, so we're going to do the next part of our book, looking for a new earth. So in the future, you've heard a lot of people talk about, I'm sure you've heard a lot of conversations about what people think is going to happen in the world. Do we need to move to another planet because we've destroyed this one? Is it possible? Can we live on another planet? Can we live on the moon, Mars, Antarctica? We don't know. But, we can give our opinions. And when we respond, we can say, yes, definitely. Possibly, that means maybe, but I'm not sure. No, never. So a question could be, for example, in the future, do you think humans can live at the bottom of the ocean? I don't think so. I think no, because I think the ocean is moving more into the land. I don't know if we can ever live at the bottom. Do you think humans can live on the moon? It's possible because we can go there now, but can we live there? Can we grow fruits and vegetables and maybe in the future on the moon and on Mars? I think in the sky as well. Maybe, did you see those movies where they start to create like a world? It's in the future. A good movie that has the idea is The Fifth Element. If you remember this movie, it was from the 90s, I think. So this movie, do you know this movie, The Fifth Element? Bruce Willis. So they did the idea that there's going to be people living in the sky because they created, I'll show you an image. Maybe I'll just type sky. See here, they created like, we can now have these cars that will drive up in the sky and the buildings are now higher and yeah, so maybe we can live in the sky. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Let me type that in. I didn't. Yeah. How do you Cindros O'Neill. Let's have a look. So there you go. That's an idea about this future O'Neill cylinder. I've never seen this. So that's an idea. People are imagining that there's going to be this, yeah, with gravity. Yes. So because they built it, very interesting design. Something it's gravity, whatever. Yeah. So there you go. People are already imagining what is possible. Interesting. And there's a world inside. Like, I think I've seen a lot of movies. They sleep, yeah. There you go. Interesting. Okay, so let's read an article and we're going to match the sentences to each paragraph. So we'll read together. Okay, so I'll read the first sentence and then you can repeat after me. So the title is Looking for a New Earth. Okay, so for thousands of years, So you can read if you want, Sebastian. I know you're the last student left, but good practice. For thousands of years,
Thousands of years, months,
explored the Earth. Now, astronauts are exploring space,
are birds,
looking for new planets or a new Earth for humans to live on
if
in the future. But what will a new Earth look like? First of all, astronomers look for a star. That's because our own Earth orbits a star, the sun. When astronomers have found a star, they look for planets around it.
if
In recent years,
listen here,
astronomers have found thousands of new planets orbiting suns.
listen,
Once they find a new planet,
find new planet,
it's also important to measure the distance
for them to measure the distance
between the planet
between the planet
and the sun. That's because
because
most planets,
planet
unlike our Earth,
unlike our air
are either too near to the star
little to near to the dark
or too far away.
to
Now, if you're online, you can read as well with me. When they find a planet
find planet
in a good position,
position
astronomers look for three things:
look for three things:
water, air, and rock.
water, ice, rock.
Water is important because if humans go there,
Human go
they will need water to drink and to grow plants. If you can grow plants, then the plants can produce air to breathe. Yep. Finally, astronomers also look for rocks because water is often under the rocks.
and
In recent years, astronomers have found
found
a few planets that are very similar to Earth. For example, Gliese 581g, yeah, G, is a planet
planet
at a safe distance from the nearest star. Astronomers also think
is
it has water and rock.
rock.
The average temperature is between minus 31 degrees Celsius, minus 31 degrees Celsius, and minus 12 degrees Celsius, which is cold, but not colder than Antarctica or the Arctic Circle. However, there are some differences. Glycel 581G is bigger than the Earth, and a year on Glycel, I don't know how to say that, is only 37 Earth days. 37, 37 Earth days instead of 365. And the biggest problem is the distance. Glici 581G is 18 trillion kilometers from the Earth. Okay, good. So that was looking for a new Earth, for a new place outside of this Earth. And it told us what was important. We need to have, what were the three things? Water, air, and rock. Okay, so let's go back to some questions. We have, as a result, they are too hot and gassy or too cold and icy for humans. Okay, so the first one, let's do it together. So we have number 3. So that sentence that says that as a result, they're too hot and gassy or too cold for humans to live in is from so match the sentences A to E to the end of the paragraphs. Okay, so that comes from the second paragraph. So if you look at the second paragraph, the last sentence is, that's because most planets, unlike our Earth, are either too near to the star or too far away. Yes. So can you see how that sentence comes from that last sentence in the paragraph here? So that's paragraph 2. So I'm just going to put 2A. The next sentence says, with current space technology, humans will take 766,000 years to travel there. That's in the last paragraph. Do you see in the last one here, the last paragraph? I can see that it says it could connect to this last paragraph. So that sentence that I read can come at the end of this paragraph. So 5B. Yeah, next level. Yeah. I think everybody's going early today. Okay, we'll finish here then because everybody's going home early. Number C, and how do you find a new earth? That can be connected to the first paragraph. So we could put it here, 1C, because in the first paragraph, we can put that sentence here. And C, and how do you find a new earth? Sorry, I did that one. D, so even if we can't see water on a planet, it's sometimes there in the third paragraph here. So 3B. And the last one, humans can live in those temperatures. That goes in the fourth paragraph here because it talked about the temperature here. So those were extra sentences that we can add to our writing, to our article. Okay, let's finish really quickly just with this last part and then you can go home because I know everyone wants to go home. So astronomer, what does that word mean? Astronomer, so remember any noun that has an ER is usually a job. So an astronomer is C, someone who studies the planets and stars in space. Okay, so 1C, astronomer is someone who studies the planets and stars in space. Planet, what is a planet? A planet is a large round object in space made of rock and metal or gas. For example, Earth, that's a planet. Mars, Neptune, Jupiter, Mercury, they are planets. Star, what's the definition of a star? A star is a large round object of burning gas in space. For example, the sun. The sun is a star. Orbiting. Now that's a verb, that's an action because I can see the ing. But what is orbiting? Orbiting is going around a planet or a star. So orbiting, you're moving like this. And rock. What is the definition of rock? Rock is the solid part of the earth or a planet. And air. Air is the gas humans breathe. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to do this part and then we can finish. So read the article again. I'll let you do that tomorrow because I know a lot of people have gone home. But we'll do it so that so you can have second practice doing it tomorrow the same again. So when astronomers look for a new Earth, what do they look for in space? So you remember they need to look for if it has planets around it. They need to measure the distance between the planet and the sun. When they find a planet, what do they look for? Do you remember it's very important that if we do find another planet, we need to see if there's water, air, and rock. We need those things there. It's very important. And how is Gazelle 581G similar to the Earth? Well, it is at a safe distance from the nearest star and has water and rock. That's why this planet, Gazelle 581G, is similar to Earth. And how is Gazelle 581G different to the Earth? It's bigger. And it only has, remember, 37 days, not 365 days. Imagine every year is like 1 month. That would be very fast. We would live to be, I mean, we'd have a birthday every month because we have to be born in that year. So, wow, people would have many, many years. Yes. Shorter days. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be, maybe it takes, well, 37 days. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so let's finish there. When we come back next lesson, we're going to look at the article again, make sure we understand what we're reading and answer a few more questions, and also look at creating questions with how. So we're going to be asking how far, how near, how much, usually with distance, with weight, how long, how old. Okay, so when we come back next lesson, we're going to be using our question words of how. So making questions using how. And then we're also going to be writing about a place that we would like to visit. So have a think about it. Which place, which city do you want to visit that you've never been to before, but you like to visit? Okay, so we'll do that all next lesson. Sebastian, thank you for staying. And also to Edward, Yaneth, Valeria, Dickerson, and Anna. See you next lesson. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.
See you
Good
tomorrow,
night.
teacher.
Bye. See you all soon. Have a great night.
See you tomorrow, teacher.
Bye, Anna. Bye, Valeria. Bye, guys.